welcome to part 2 of Africa's premier sports video podcast, the 3 Quarters Podcast. Also remember, jump onto that hashtag 3QP. Let us know what your sporting interests are. I'm BMOTW.
And I'm Ngaro Kamuye.
So, bad man of the week from our feature game, that is Impala versus Kenya Harlequins. So, on the Impala side, a few people impressed me. Obviously, coming off the bench, Davis Makori. I mean, he clearly made a difference. You cannot, say he didn't. Samson Onsomu, I feel at some point his line breaks, his, pop passes in contact, just availing himself for, passes, like in attack, basically. I think had a pretty decent day. And Vincent Mose, it being his last game, I feel after the knock, he woke up.
Yeah.
He's like, what, I'm not going down like this.
Yeah.
So very well done to him.
Yeah.
No, of course, thank you for all your years of service. Because he's let's just say he's mature.
Oh yeah.
He's mature.
Yeah.
On the Harlequin side, Lila Asiligwa, of course, on the day had a very good day. I'd missed seeing Lyle play, to be honest.
Yeah.
Paul Kyoko, he gained quite a few meters.
Yes.
At some point, I was like, what is Impala doing? Because a lot of people were saying they've not seen him play like that, ever.
Yeah.
Not even in a long time, ever.
Yeah.
So very well done to him. But my man of the match on the day, Eden Aguero, I mean, I've not seen Eden. I think I've also not been watching Eden too carefully, more recently.
Yeah.
But Eden ran into someone and knocked them. I have not seen that. I've never seen Eden to just take contact like that.
Yes.
So he's my man of the match.
I come from the school of thought that the man of the match always comes from the winning team. Unless
you had an exceptional
game.
Yes.
My man of the match always comes from the winning team. So I wasn't particularly impressed. Yes, Davis Makori did have an impact when he came off the bench, but I wasn't really particularly impressed by even Vincent Mose. I've seen him playing at very high standards.
Of course.
Yeah, and I always get the feeling that if you were to have a good game on the opposing side, then it would have had the results that should have favored your team. But anyway, that's a debate for now. Anyway. So my bad man of the week, yes, Eden Aguero did have a fantastic game. He broke a couple of lines. His chip kick to William Baka, he had a fantastic game. But my guy is Paul Kyoko. He gained a lot of yards for Queens. I like the fact that he's running. His angles when he was coming for the short pass, his scrummaging was excellent on the day. And the Queens Park did take a hit when Paul Kyoko was substituted. So I'd like to see him get a bit fitter.
Yeah.
But on the day, I think he had a very good game. I think everyone who was there does agree that Paul Kyoko had a fantastic game.
Well, very well done to both of them.
Yep.
So now we move to the shorter version of the game. So Hamilton Sevens. So our Shuja team was there. They played. I feel they did better. They're definitely doing a lot better than how they started.
Yeah.
So day one, they were in Pool C. Day one against South Africa lost 29-10. Then they lost against Scotland 19-10. And their last game was against France. So they beat France 19-15.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't expect that. But they won, which was good. Day two, they were in the Challenge Trophy quarterfinals. Played against Tonga. I did not expect that win, but 19-12, very well done to the boys. The semi-final was against Argentina. They beat Argentina 24-7.
Yes.
And in the final, they played England. I think we expected England to win that game, and they did, 36-7. So at the New Zealand Sevens, they were 10 in the log, and that brings them up to 13th overall, which, I think they're doing a lot better. It's good to see the young boys now playing with a lot more confidence. Your Johnston Lindy, your Daniel Tabu, Jacob Oje leading from the front. There are a few people who are questioning why he was captain, but I think he's showing them why he was, But what did you think?
It's definitely a better performance than what we saw in Dubai and Cape Town. 1, 2. It's a better performance than what many people expected to see in Hamilton. And you remember we said, the good thing about this thing is that very many of our young guys get exposure or get exposed to the international game, and therefore it increases our pool of sevens players. That's okay, granted. And I told you, my only fear is that we lose our core status as a sevens team. That's my only fear. But in saying that, because knowing Kenyans and knowing the Kenyan rugby fraternity, we will quickly forget what the problem is.
Yeah.
Just because of this result, we'll quickly forget what the problem is. We are performing. We forget about everything. So, yes, they had a very good performance, and that's very good. But let's not forget where the problem is. This problem is far from over. We'll always back our boys, 100%.
Yep.
And that was a fantastic performance
Yep.
by the boys, given what they were dealing with. But let us not forget what the problem is. Please, that's all I ask.
So, party pooper. Very well done to our boys. So in Sydney, they're in Pool B. They'll be with USA, Canada, and France.
Yeah.
Very, very best of luck to them.
Yeah, best of luck to them.
Yeah, I feel like that might be a slightly easier pool.
Yeah.
But let's see how it goes.
It's on the day.
Yep,
It's on the day.
Yep. Game is played on the day.
Yeah.
So now we're back home to our beloved Kenya Rugby Union. And we're talking about the fact that we need to replace Richard Onwala.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are very okay with that. Like, yes, okay, he's done and dusted, he's not vying again, good.
Yeah.
Who are we going to get next?
Yeah.
So we've got Sasha Matai, Odwar Gangla, and Ezekiel Awar, who are vying for seats. And of course, there's been a lot of controversy around it, as usual.
Yes.
So this will be for March.
Yeah.
When they have the AGM and, people will be elected. How do you see that going? Like, there's popular opinion, there's your opinion, there's the right thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
You say, I mean, I like how you started it, that there's a need to replace Richard Onwala. It's done and dusted. He should go. It's unfortunate. Like somebody was saying, there's Onwala 1 and Onwala 2. Fantastic job between 2003 and 2011. Between 2015 and now, no. Anyway, the three have put in their hats. They all have their strengths, they all have their weaknesses. My biggest issue is there are two people who've actually put their names there, and they're part of the current board. And the question then we ask is, what have you done when you have been part of the union? This union has been a problem for the last 4 years, so you have been a part of the problem. What did you do to rectify those issues? And you see, Damima, I come from the school of thought, and correct me if I'm wrong. These are elective posts, granted. But if things are not going according to the way you want them to go, you have the option to resign.
Yep.
Mongi Muthe did that in 2014. He didn't like the way things were going, he resigned. So you cannot sit there and tell me, I fought it from inside. What did you fight? What did you fight?
Yep.
We are at a point where corporate Kenya has zero confidence in the Kenya Rugby Union. We are at the point where the government has zero confidence in the guys who are managing this game. Actually, we've retrogressed. We are, 8 to 10 years ago, that's where we are. And the only thing I ask, look, everyone has their own opinion. The only thing I ask is, number one, we need to get out of this mentality of handouts. Because I can guarantee you, Damima, the person who's going to win this thing is the person who promises the trips to South Africa. Is the person who, the people who are going to vote, our delegates, cannot sit down and look at the bigger picture. Yep. They cannot sit down and say, look, I was asking someone who's a delegate, don't you feel bad that in 2018 you are getting handouts? Come on, man. 2018, you're getting handouts to run your team?
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, look, we need to get away from that mentality. So whatever guys decide, come late March, when they decide when the AGM is going to be held, we need to think about rugby first.
Yep.
And whatever decision we make is going to be for the next 4 years. It's not going to be for 2 years. We can't rectify this issue in 2 years. In 2017, we saw what happened. And some of us, you and I, Damima included, sat down and told some of these guys, you're going to regret this mistake you made. We are regretting in 2019.
Yep.
The Kenya Simbas didn't qualify for World Cup. Shuja team is in problems because of money. The union is 90 million shillings in the red from what I hear. 4 years. Whatever choice you make, you have 4 years. And that's why I keep saying, this thing starts from the members in the clubs.
Yep.
Whoever you vote for to go represent you in such things. And I only wish these guys who call themselves fans had a bit more attachment to their clubs. Because you can sit down here, I can sit down here, for example, and make all the noise I'm going to make outside. But if I'm not sitting down with the Queens guys and tell them, look guys, we need to actually make a serious decision about this. If it's not going to be a club decision, look, let's front this person. They're going to be in problems. But anyway, that's a discussion for another day.
That's definitely where the plot is lost. And you're very right.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, and no offense to whoever's running, but you cannot be part of the rot.
Yeah.
And we can't see what you're doing in that rot and say that, no, I want to go and now lead. That's,
Doesn't add up.
Yeah, it really doesn't. But anyway, best of luck.
Yeah, best.
May rugby win.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
So our international rugby scene, we're talking about good things.
Yeah.
So Warren Gatland confirms his stance on the possibility of an All Blacks coaching job after the Rugby World Cup.
Yeah.
Although he says, I'd like to, but I also just want to go back to New Zealand, do a few local sort of jobs as I integrate back into the system.
Yeah.
But what do you think about this? I mean, he's obviously a very celebrated coach.
Yeah.
And there are talks about him being one of the possible people to take up the position.
Yeah.
But he doesn't look too,
I can say that's BS. I mean, you can't. Let me tell you.
Like, how do you turn that down?
How do you turn the All Blacks job down? Come on. Yeah. And let me tell you something, Damima. The last two coaches of the All Blacks, Steve Hansen and Graham Henry, all had stints as the head coaches of Wales. Okay?
Rite of passage.
Yeah, so they passed through Wales and they come back to the All Blacks. And I remember watching an interview for Graham Henry. Sir Graham Henry, he said, second to New Zealand, he's never seen a country as passionate about rugby like Wales. Now you have Henry, you have Hansen, who've both passed that way. Now Gatland, you've been there for 10 years. You've coached the British and Irish Lions. And then the All Blacks position has just opened up.
Like just,
you are leaving
at the
Wales.
right time.
Yeah, you are leaving Wales after the World Cup. I think he'd be a good player, but come on, stop giving us this BS that you don't. I think he wants the job. Any New Zealander would want that.
Yeah,
job.
anyone would.
With the same mind. Yeah.
But guys, let us know what you think. Is this just a facade? Is it a front? Is he just Anyway, let us know what you think. Remember, you can find us on social media. That is by following us on Instagram, liking our page on Facebook, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. I'm BMOTW.
And I'm Nora Kamuya.
See you in part 3.